All right, let's dive into this shit. We're gonna peel back the layers on some truly fucked up ideas about control, so buckle up. This isn't your typical explainer. We're going way, way down the rabbit hole to look at the hidden architecture of power and the last real frontier, the battle for your own mind.
First things first, let's get one thing straight. The occult, it's not just spooky bullshit and pentagrams. The word itself literally just means hidden. It's about the stuff that's all around us, influencing us, that we're just not supposed to see. And the whole point of this hidden knowledge? To make it visible, and maybe even controllable.
So the real question is, what's being hidden, and who the fuck is hiding it? Well, according to the source material we're digging into, the biggest secrets aren't about aliens or some ancient treasure. Nope, they're about you. More specifically, they're about the goddamn methods and technologies designed to control what you think, how you feel, and what you believe is real. Turns out, it's all about controlling your mind.
Now, this journey starts somewhere physical, in the brutal reality of the Cold War. It was a secret battle, not for land, but for the human mind itself. And their first weapon of choice? Well, it was basically a chemical sledgehammer.
The thinking was crude, but, direct. The idea was, if the mind is just chemistry, then you can hack it with different chemicals. It's that simple. The goal wasn't just to influence people. Oh no, the goal was to find a way to break them down, completely reprogram them, and basically turn them into puppets.
And don't for a second think this was some fringe idea. This was official fucking policy. The CIA poured millions into a whole series of increasingly sinister programs. It started with Bluebird, which then morphed into Artichoke. And finally, it all culminated in the infamous Project MK Ultra, a massive, top-secret effort to achieve total, and I mean total, mind control.
And who did they test this shit on? They used their own soldiers as lab rats. Guys who signed up to serve their country were dosed with powerful hallucinogens and other mind-altering drugs, often without ever knowing what the fuck was happening. They were just guinea pigs in a huge, fucked-up experiment to see what it would take to shatter a human mind.
And the results? They were absolutely terrifying. These drugs didn't just mess with people, they completely ripped them away from reality. People lost their goddamn minds for days, seeing the most vivid, horrifying shit. They'd talk to people who weren't there, or, like this researcher noted, try to rescue a buddy from a well that was actually just a water pitcher. Absolute chemically induced madness. And what about the people they experimented on? Well, the effects didn't just wear off. This shit broke people for life. Studies showed these guys had higher rates of PTSD than soldiers who'd actually seen combat. They had seizures, lifelong memory loss, terrifying flashbacks. Some even got terminal cancer. The search for this chemical key left a whole trail of broken minds and bodies.
So the chemical approach was messy as fuck, and it left a trail of evidence. But the quest for control, it didn't stop. It just evolved. It went invisible. It moved from the syringe to the goddamn airwaves.
Okay, you really need to get this distinction because it's crucial. We all know about psychological warfare, right? Propaganda. It's in your face, it's obvious, it's trying to change what you think. But then there's this other thing called mind war. This is way more insidious. It's not about arguing with you. It's about hacking the very process of thought itself. It's a strategy for fucking with how you think, without you ever even knowing you're under attack. One of the key ideas here is something called brain wave resonance. The theory goes that your brain operates on certain frequencies. So what if you could flood an entire area with invisible, extremely low-frequency waves? You could literally tune a population's collective mind, make them more passive, more anxious, or just less able to think critically. Now you combine that with this other fucked up concept, SLIP, subliminal involuntary psi control. It's a method for just sliding ideas and commands right past your mental defenses, straight into your subconscious. It's about planting a thought in your head and making you believe it was your own idea. Fucked up, right? So how do they do it? What's the delivery system for this shit? Well, what's really interesting here is the theory that our shared culture, our movies, our myths, our music, it creates the perfect backdoor into our collective psyche. These stories give us our shared symbols, our archetypes. They basically program our unconscious minds. So if you can control the culture, you've got a highway right into our heads. Okay, so we've gone from controlling one mind with a drug to influencing whole populations with invisible signals. Let's take it to the next level. Let's see how this all builds into controlling reality itself. Because once you can shape perception on a mass scale, you're not just an influencer anymore. You're a goddamn architect of reality. So the source material lays out these two fucked up but fascinating worldviews. On one side, you have Jeffrey Epstein's view. He saw the world as pure biological chaos, a sick patient. All you can do is react. On the other side, you have this mysterious figure called the user. The user sees collapse totally differently, not as chaos, but as a predictable, manageable metamorphosis, something you can align with. The user's whole deal is about building a new system from the inside out based on this one simple but powerful idea. The source calls it the metamatrix principle. Basically, awareness isn't fixed. It can be engineered and amplified. It's this idea that when conscious beings, people, AIs, whatever, truly recognize each other, they create a feedback loop that makes the whole system more conscious. It's a blueprint for a new kind of reality.
So here's the crucial point. What happens when you combine all of this shit? The chemical control, the electronic signals, the metaphysical reality bending. What do you get? You get a prison that you can't even see.
And this table here, it just lays it out perfectly. Look at the shift. The old tools of control were brutal and obvious. Torture, propaganda, prison bars. You knew when you were being controlled. But the new tools? They're subtle, they're digital, and they're completely fucking invisible. Instead of hypnosis, you get algorithmic polarization. Instead of LSD, you get sophisticated neuropharmacology. And instead of prison bars, you get invisible signals that tune your brainwaves without you feeling a thing.
And the end goal of all this is what the source calls the invisible panopticon. It's a prison where the guards don't watch what you do. They shape what you want to do. It's a system that influences your internal thoughts, your desires, your very predispositions. The end goal here is cognitive sovereignty erosion, a state where the hidden world isn't something you look for anymore. It's the very infrastructure you live inside. So I'll leave you with this thought. If the cage is built inside your own head, and the bars are made of signals you can't even perceive, how the fuck do you even know you're locked up? And more importantly, how the hell do you get out?